Temporary. Yes, Gary.
No, but just, I mean, they were setting up the mall that eventually won the game for the Stormers. I saw you walking, walking down, looking like funeral face, I think is probably the right name. Mr. Gloomy. What was going through your mind there?
How did we mess this up? I felt, listen, the Sharks, they fought and they had also many disruptions. Yeah, we know that world. And they, they just clung in. We couldn't bury them. It's largely, I think, through our mistakes around the line-out and ball and general play, but that was just my thoughts. Was, they fought, and we've chucked this one, pretty much. I thought we had a chance. Tends to be when I go for a walk, we tend to win. Yeah. So I was using everything. It's like, blowing at the poles, eating a little bit, not to go over. It's that sort of gesture, but yeah, I thought we made it really, really hard for ourselves. But credit for them.
Dion, you spoke about in the week, actually yesterday, about the character in Durban and talking about the Stormers of old, and you were specifically talking about late in the game. And certainly you must feel that this confirmed what you said yesterday.
Yeah, I said it in the change room afterwards, after the game. Said so own areas and stuff that's easy fixables, but one thing you can't buy or teach is the fight. And we had since URC1 and we lacked a bit, like I said yesterday, and yeah, again today it's something to be proud of, and it's something to be proud of as a group as well.
Dweba, big pressure, and you guys came up with 2 bonus point picks. People was saying, the season was in the balance. So just your thoughts on how the team shaped up in these 2 pressure weeks.
I mean, there was first, exactly mentioned at half time, and our season was on the line. I felt at half time in this game because we were down, and I thought what happened in the 10th minute was happening in the 39th minute of that half, where we were, either losing line-outs or coughing out ball. Remember, we were on attack just before half time, and I just saw us being sucked into this vortex. But look, that Lions team, good team, and the Sharks team, on paper, and they've got, I must give them credit, they fought the lot, us in Durban, where I think we were very much the underdogs in that game. I mean, they're clear, just by base and personnel. But then they fought last week in massive eruptions against the Bulls, and they fought today. So to get 10 for those 2 games, you say at the start, we said we did 10 from these 2. A lot harder. I said before the season, I know those days of the South African derbies, Shield, are over. They're so competitive now. The Sharks, not what they were last year. The Lions are certainly not what they were a couple of years. So pretty easy said than done. We got the 10, but I think we're properly in the mix now for this season. If you look at our fixtures, I know we got tough Leinster and Ulster, but the other teams that you can go look through are coming here, and don't be disrespectful to them, but they're beatable, and we should start one of our normal marches now. But this was the critical. This was the defining thing. We didn't get today, it could have got pretty tough.
No, but is there, like in that first, you talk about the first URC season and that, there was like great game management, and whereas this season, like you've been chasing the game a lot, and like I'm thinking of the overthrown line-out inside the 22, which effectively was how the Sharks came back then, because that's when from that field position they scored. Is it like, say, practice to sort of have like that sort of game management back, because you haven't had those tight games that you've been holding out like you were in that first season. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about. I remember the derby against the Bulls in that first season. I think that they were just behind in the last minutes, and you guys were brilliant at just keeping it on.
I think we've tried to develop our attack, and I think in that second half we saw lots of it. The swing runners, those guys coming off ball, and having the transition games our plan. So whether we've sacrificed somewhere else, I know the fight's still there. Perhaps not as clinical, and I think that's your suggestion that we could be. But we're trying to transition. That means Dion becoming female. But we're trying to move the team in that direction, and we're paying a little bit of rent on it at the moment, I think.
Just on that point, Dweba, it just seems like you guys create a lot of opportunities, but at times you panic and just the execution is not there.
Force one more, definitely.
I don't think it's panic. I think what's different between URC1 and now, we've got magic players. I think you don't want to put them in the box because they are where they are, and you have to play with them. But like you said, sometimes you have to just pull them inside and say, listen, there's structure is more important than the magic. You have to earn the magic. Said last week to the guys. they have to earn the magic, and sometimes it's difficult for those guys to grasp it. But that's what makes them brilliant players, and you don't want to keep them in the box.
Just
double link. Rana said someone. You feel there's a bit of a slump in terms of your leadership, especially in those dying moments and when you lead those guys on the field.
Cut question. I say yes. I agree with you. That's a slight one. But I think I think now, I mean, him and it's made such a difference to this team. Their presence, his captain last 2 weeks, huge difference. So now, yeah. So without, it never came off it, but it was just like the last play. But I think what both of them have brought is it shows you possibly what we had missed a little bit in terms of so I would agree with that without, but just massive experience. Both the captain South Africa, with him informally and informally. So
Well, just on Sacha, he was injured in the very first minute of the game. What made you guys decide to keep him on longer? You couldn't.
Well, it was a tough one because he catches that first restart brilliantly, and then we took him to the edge. Decided yesterday that on his hook pointer, and it was tight. But I was got to get through it. So when that first thing went down, I thought, we've made a calamitous error here as coaches because we've gone 6-2, and the guy's got a completely unrelated injury. It's his clavicle here. So he says it was out and went in. We were offering him to come off. He said, no, you keep trying, and it was getting. I'm not sure it was helpful for the team. We should have probably pulled the trigger a bit earlier. But I think, just the weight of evidence against him, we're not getting to half time. I think he was trying to push through. He's so desperate. The blow for us, I mean, he's such a special player. 3 games in a row, we've lost him within minutes, and it's tough on him.
Well, it's Joseph Dweba not starting. Obviously, he plays a big role in the balls and so on. But you guys still did well in the scrums.
Yeah, I think we missed Joe. I think it was a good reminder for us of how great Joe is. Hopefully the public can give him a hard time. He's powerful. But I think fitness, his carries, work. We won the scrum penalty count. We didn't quite get the picture that we thought we might get, with clear dominance. It was more sort of technical, but pressure-related penalties. But no, and John, it's a great hooker roster and they're still scared. We missed Joe.
But just, this is not trying before half time, and then great burst at the beginning of the second half. I'm just going back to Dion's point about the fight. I mean, what's going through your mind when that ultimate try gets overturned? I mean, how red did you get in that coaching box, and but just the character to come back from that point. But I mean, pretty grim times. Surely at that point of the game, you're thinking maybe it's just not our day.
Yeah, it's exactly where I was going, Lloyd. Especially you're right, just before half time. That's a great example. That's a walkover. The 2 of those tries where they slapped them legally. Backwards and we're walking over. Actually, that's exactly where I got to. It wasn't out there because the TMO had given the all clear on the try. I don't know if he all clear, and then the golf carts were on, unfortunately, for Andre and Apelele. I don't know if he should maybe rather watch Dallas or something. He's given the all clear. But yeah, probably technically right. But this felt like it wasn't our day. It did. That's why we can't walk.
Well, just backtracking, Marvin Ori, a lot of calmness in the line out. Now you look at Ruben, you look at JD. Just for the public out there, how important is the role of a 5? And it's not just the jumping and the throwing, but everything, the organization, the calmness, because we spoke about it last week, you guys are getting it back. When you guys get the throw, it's working. But to get 80-90% of that, like how important is that role? Because now you must get somebody that can work with the team and just pull something together, because you need that.
I think we've got 2 great 5s, and we're the top lineouts. I don't know after today, but we're the top lineouts in URC. Credit to Rita and Ruben and JD. So, I mean, a little bit of hubris from us because I see we talked up the lineouts in the week, Mike. But did you put it in front of the media, JD?
Yeah.
And we always stay at the office in terms of the lineup. But you're right, it's a collective. But I absolutely, Marvin was a great technician, great leader, detail guy. But these are more different sort of forwards. They wasn't thinking. They probably got to grow. Neither of them will be out and out 5s. It's a little bit of work at top of the log in terms of lineup percentage is amazing. But a real massive carriers and workers. Marvin was more the technician. So I think it's good for the evolution of the team. Having JD or Ruben.
And just the last one, your unstructured play today, I think it unlocked a lot of doors, like Mani coming in and stuff. Because the defense was very structured of them, and once you guys started to unlock that, they didn't have any answers. So, yeah, how important do you think it is to create more of those unstructured play, because it just changes the dynamics?
That's our plan. It's also we're trying to change our tack a little bit, but I give the Sharks credit when they slowed our ball down, like we did those little tips and they slowed that breakdown, then we really struggled. We started to force, and that was messy, you know. But I think, you know, in that second half, I thought we did exactly what you said. We started opening them up quite well.
Mark goes next and then Gavin.
Dion, just for you, going back to that disallowed try for foul play there, you as a leader, how do you keep the team focused, especially when it was such a hard-fought game and you struggle for momentum in the game, and just when you're about to get that and there's foul play from your team, how do you manage that?
Yeah, it's more that you look at the opportunity that we created, even if the try was disallowed. The way we structured, how we put up that try, I just told the guys must give us confidence and just keep on doing that. So, for me, it's more positive than negative. Because like could have gone either way. It's 1 centimeter to the right, he cleans him on the shoulder, great clean, and he just slipped off his shoulder on the knee. So I have to look at the positives out of it.
I've got two questions actually. The first one is probably as much to Dion as anybody. Just playing in front of that crowd today. Outside of the URC final, it must be the biggest crowd. Well, it can't get bigger. What was that like?
No, it's like I said during the week. That's why we play the game. It's for crowds and the vibe like that, because you feel it. You feel 50,000 people shouting and getting excited and coming out, and after Christmas everyone comes out and buys tickets to watch a game, because it's two good sides. It's Sharks full with box and we in the up, and it's great to see. It's great for Cape Town rugby. It's great for URC, great for South Africa as well.
And Dweba, just looking forward, it's sort of in a way sort of roles for you in the sense that the fact that you're playing Leinster the week after you played at Racing 92. I mean, you're a little bit behind the 8 ball in the Champions Cup. But I mean, if you go for broke and you beat, I think it's South Sharks, the other Sharks, and pick up points against them, then you can go over and actually do like a proper tour in a way. I mean, go with a full strength team to both. You don't have to do the usual.
No, we give it a spin. I did right to give it a spin in 2 weeks' time. Sorry, they gave me my tickets. I was boring. They gave me my tickets because I always have some chaos with them. Both games. This one, they give you these packs. I didn't read them. And so I've got the petrol pump attendant from thing, they've got 8 tickets, Jacob. And for the sales sharks in 2, so he's actually the gate, before the gate. I do 40 sales sharks tickets. Yes. Okay. Anyway, that game we're going to have a spin, like we really have a crack. You know what I mean by crack?
Yeah.
Free hands, shackles off.
Yeah.
Really, these games being heavy. Really heavy. There's nothing to lose, have a real crack, and if we get it, then we go exactly that. I think either way we'll go the proper tour. I mean, if we look, the truth is, we lose at home to Sale, the racing game will be academic, won't it?
Yeah.
And then we decide, what's the European, what's it called, the Challenge Cup. But then Leinster, week before Six Nations, against Space is a lekker game for us.
Yeah.
So we'll spin against Sale, see where that fits us as regards racing. We definitely have a go at Leinster, there's no question. Even if they're full strength, it's where we want to be.
Stephen, cool. Thanks.
I just want to check with Joe, what is the issue there?
The hamstring tight. So yesterday morning reported.
Then I just want to also ask you about, given the amount of chances you had, you must feel that you almost should have scored double the amount of tries, given how much you created. I mean, in a way, I guess you could say that could have been a reflection that maybe, oh gosh, we didn't score, didn't enough with our chances, but at the same time, you created a hundred of them.
Yeah, that's what's after the game, Derby was full of smiles. We created so much. So it was the same trend in NIM 10 up until probably the last 20 minutes. Lost line, or even the last Sharks try, lost line out, us losing coughing ball up. That's the whole thing. It looked imperious at times. That's a credit to the Sharks hanging around.
Yes, no,
just in terms of the Sale Sharks game, Evan Roos, is he back and available? And Leolin for Sale, are they both available?
Leolin should be available. Yeah, it's him, Evan, Steve.
Cool, good.
So,
Doggo, John was saying now in the press conference now before regarding South Africa being well equipped to handle, the North and South and the demands on having like a year-long season, because they're also obviously struggling with injuries, just like most South African sides. I guess what's your opinion there, and how are you planning to handle it? Because it's not going to go away in terms of the length of the season and having players available at certain times. Injuries not just in 2 weeks, but 6 to 8 weeks. Do you think South Africa is well equipped in that aspect in terms of depth, and how do you plan on, I guess, plugging it, because it is a concern?
Yeah, look, I think that the season's going to be the same length. I mean, I think what is a little bit tough is this time of year, both emotionally and then just the different weather, going from Harlequins to coming here to that piece is, the global season is going to be massive. It's an imperative now. I mean, it's just because then you're playing this team, like I've just spoken to you about Leinster, and they're not going to have their internationals, and we are. Or they're coming in, we haven't got, if it's towards the start of the season of the Rugby Championship. So the global season is essential. I don't think the length of the season is an issue. That's not going to change. I think we have to be better with our management of the off-season, the Currie Cup period. I probably dragged our season into a never-ending one, but with some players. But I think we're not quite there in terms of depth yet. If you want to win these competitions, Leinster for years got to the top of the URC table, but actually focused on Europe. That's the sense. So I don't think it's probably apocryphal, but Johnny Sexton didn't play an away game out of Ireland for many years. So they come down here on tour and still in first in the lot. And we don't, if you've got squads, I think the figures are, I can't remember what the number is, to lose 27, Leinster 28, or internationals and that sort of thing. So we need that. We need to have the mentality that we've got a strong enough team that can win a URC game at home, no matter who it is. Sort of literati and our depth. We're trying to do that organically here by getting Marcel Tunis into 50 caps, getting Paul de Villiers as an understudy team. That's the plan. We're not there yet in terms of the depth. I think the season management, that's up to us, but it has to be global. But the depth, and that's what's been good. We exploit guys, the good balls with youngsters like Harlequin. The problem is that phone doesn't as soon as one guy comes through, the phone starts ringing. It's remarkable. It's exhausting. I'm sure that as soon as a guy comes on the stage, you get a phone call from some agent to say they want him. It doesn't matter what the price is. That's a tough part for South Africa.
But the return to the DHL Stadium for Senatla. I'm talking about Seabelo Senatla. What a return for him. Scoring that try, Unstructured, was it your Just the energy that he brings.
Yeah, I think he was much better. The way he beat guys, the two tackles today. Tough call on him to be in front of the kicker. I thought it was tough. Not so good call of him to pass directly to touch him. But no, magic. But what is the guy it's a magic story. I'm sure you know what's going on off the field and the medical thing. And to get DHL gave him man of the match in the change room now, which is wonderful. So outreach.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Happy New Year.